the opinions and perspectives shared by our guests and debaters on Paradigm Shift TV, 314, and the Versus series are their own. They do not necessarily represent the views of the platform. We support open dialogue and critical thought, but encourage viewers to think for themselves.
It's your brother DMG the Poet. Y'all know what it is. Before we get into our spiel, I got to do my spiel. Let me say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say Shalom or Shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say Assalamu Alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. I want to say Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. I want to say what's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. Salute to all my atheist brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Big what up to all my Naga brothers and sisters. Last and certainly not least, I want to say Jambo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And guess what, family? As hard as it may be, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, family, let's get into it.
The following music is performed by the Musical Messiah, aka the most dangerous Bible believer. Please be advised by how hard it hits.
In my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak that on ONE. You don't wanna have to do it, cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it. You gon' lose it, nigga. Living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak that on ONE. You might know that neo love, but neo love or when he above. Switching lanes in the turning lane. Old school, no roof above. Carpool, no room for her. Bitch, you cartoons, we gets it up. We check the sources, you listen to voices. You are not living like us. You say you creeping in houses and all of the monsters is living in fearing of us. Pussy, we are not monsters and we are not pouncing and we are not giving a fuck. We up the score on you niggas. We done outgrown out you niggas. Nigga, yeah, with DM the G, Craig and the Craig and nobody. They saying Judah the Nash, but he be trash. Bring me the bag. Why the fuck would you brag with? No, you ain't living that bad. You are not rad. I take your choices and put them inside of a bag. Smoke them like hash. Then dump out the ash and now the pussy on the crash. You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it. You gon' lose it, nigga. Living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak that on ONE. You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it. You gon' lose it, nigga. Living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak that on ONE. mind. Something like the truest, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak bad on.
On the cool country, granny played the blues on the stool. Head wrap silky, chewing on this oxtail. Scheming on the millie, trying to hit the yacht sail. Gold shining lobster near the Everglade music. When we drop, it's like you never made music. Better days never came easy to a quitter. Ain't no pump faking, let them see that I deliver. God body, baby, big 7 in the skin. Probably why you never hear no better again. Higher than the spot that we bout to set the bar. Stankin', smell it before it left the jar. I just left the coast straight to another ocean. Got excuses, me, I'm really having motion. Sipping on mimosa, chopping real estate game. 40 years later, still the same lane. Just left the hood, never heard of you. 30 long years, not a single word of you. Shop booming, baby, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been busy having motion. Just left the town, things spoke to you. You a L7, probably served to you. Shop still booming, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been really having motion. Boy, stop playing, this is not your lane. Never seen struggle, you do not know pain. Stop playing, would you be yourself? How they see you, how you see yourself. Ain't real, acting real fictitious. Family on the west probably still hit switches. Playing Sally Cell, brought the thumper in the car. I been down in Austin, burning rubber down Lamar. Keep what you earn, put it back in the business. Gold mouth shorty, spinning racks at the dentist. One stream need a whole 7 ways. That weaker than a whole 7 days. I've been playing chess, working on the left brain. Buzzing in my city way before the press came. Went and bought a now he think he less lame. Got the kind of gas that could fuel a jet plane. Just left the hood, never heard of you. 30 long years, not a single word of you. Shop booming, baby, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been busy having motion. Just left the town, things spoke to you. You a L7, probably served to you. Shop still booming, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been really having motion. Y'all know what time it is. Jury, what up? Lords of the land. Ain't got no minutes for you, internet. We really outdoors with it. Till infinity.
All right, family, we are here. It is the Versus Series. We live in 2025. We've been live all year so far, so good. And this week, we got a Versus Series veteran in AONE, the Bible breaker. The man who I'm going to say right here, right now, to his face, made the chin check session so popular. That being said, he is facing a Versus Series rookie. This is the debut of our sister Quinn. That being said, who gonna take this? The newcomer Quinn or the veteran AONE? We're about to find out. The question of the night is, does the Bible condone grape? And I hope y'all know what we mean when we say grape. But this is YouTube. I got a small channel. I'm not trying to get jacked up. So we saying grape. Does the Bible condone grape?
A1 is taking the affirmative, so he will be going first. Y'all know how we do over here at the Versus series. We got 2 10-minute rounds. One is to state your case. Explain what it is you're trying to demonstrate. The second one is to rebut your opponent and to continue building upon your previous argument from the first round. Then we have the most popular section of the Versus series, the chin check session. That's when each opponent has 10 minutes to ask their opponent as many pertinent questions as they possibly can. It gets hot and heated. Each debater has 3 timeouts. They have 3 times that they can stop their time. Also, as a moderator, if it gets stagnant, I will intervene, but they do have up to 3 times to stop their time during the chin check session. My man Ratchet Craig calls it the interrogation room. Either way it goes, we have ourselves an interesting contest. The rookie versus the veteran. Who is going to take this thing? It's the Versus series. We live in 2025. Debaters, please introduce or reintroduce yourselves to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience. I'll tell you what, I start with the veteran, the Bible breaker himself. It's on you, bro.
What's up, y'all? It's A1, aka the Bible Breaker, aka Mr. In My Villainaire. And you see what the title is today. Shout out to my opponent.
Don't do your opening yet. Just reintroduce yourself.
Okay. I don't know. I'm A1. Let's go. There I go.
All right. That'll suffice. That'll suffice. All right, let's go over to our sister, the rookie in the house. Please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience, or reintroduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Quinn. Of course, I am the newbie here, but I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed with the presentation tonight.
All right. Y'all heard it. So, on top of everything I said about how the Versus series works, each debater has a 3-minute opening and a 3-minute closing. That's basically them introducing their argument, saying what they'll be talking about tonight, and then the closeout will be their final thoughts on the situation. So, again, A1, you are the affirmative. So open this thing up, my brother. You will have 3 minutes and your time will start when you start talking. But give me 1 second because my timer is not resetting. Just a second. Okay. All right, we ready.
All right. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Okay. Oops. Let me go back. Oh, no, don't start my time yet. Okay, everything. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Does the Bible condone Grape? You can follow me on TikTok and YouTube at Astro Projections 369, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and everyone present, thank you for joining us in this important and thought-provoking debate. Today, I will be presenting the argument that the Bible does indeed condone grape. While this may be a difficult and uncomfortable topic, it is one that must be examined honestly and critically. As we explore this issue, I will define 2 essential terms, condone and grape, and explain how they apply to the biblical text in question. To condone means to accept or allow behavior that is morally wrong or offensive. In this context, I will argue that the Bible and some of its laws and narratives not only fails to condemn grape, but in certain instances, it effectively permits or even facilitates it. Grape, as we understand it today, is the act of engaging in sexual intercourse without consent, often through violence or coercion. When we apply these definitions to key biblical stories and laws, we see instances where women are treated as property, their suffering ignored or minimized, and the perpetrators of sexual violence are not held accountable in any meaningful way. This is where the Bible, in its narratives and legal structure, fails to address grape with the severity it deserves. As we discuss these examples, I ask you to consider the emotional and human side of the issue, especially for those of you who are women or who have loved ones who are women. Imagine the pain, the helplessness, and the trauma that comes with being dehumanized and violated. Imagine being told that your worth is reduced to your role as property and that your suffering is of little consequence. This is the reality we see reflected in the Bible's treatment of women who are victims of sexual violence. The emotional toll on the victims of these ancient narratives will be no less devastating than it would be today. And the fact that these women are not afforded the justice, dignity, and protection that they deserve reflects a disturbing moral flaw in the way the Bible treats sexual violence. It is my hope that by the end of this debate, we will all be able to look at these texts with the compassion, clarity, and moral integrity they require. This is not just an academic discussion. This is about the real world consequence of how we interpret and engage with these ancient writings and how we as a society choose to treat victims of sexual violence. Thank you. It's on you, Quinn. Go ahead.
All right. A1 had 36 seconds to spur, but we are going to move on to our sister Quinn. Quinn, I want you to do me a favor. Even if you're not sharing your screen in your 3-minute opening, I want you to go ahead and share it just so we'll already have it up. And we know we're good to go in case you have to email it to me and I got to operate it for you.
Okay. So here's my thing. Because I have the presentation and everything. It's not sending.
No. Listen, you don't have to send it. Just open it up on your computer and hit present on StreamYard.
That's
Oh no. So you look, my bad. I just assumed what it was. Go ahead and break it down. My fault.
I'm not seeing those buttons.
You're not seeing at the bottom of the screen, you're not seeing present or invite?
No.
Oh wow.
So that's why I was asking earlier if we could practice this.
I got you. Listen, don't worry about it. I put my email in the private chat. If you can, just email it to me.
It's too big.
Even when you try to do it as an attachment?
Yes.
Okay. Are you using the Gmail?
Yes.
So download it to your Google Drive,
Mm-hmm.
and then send it that way as a Google Drive attachment instead of an attachment from your computer.
Okay. So I tried that part too. I tried all of those. When I do it as a Google Drive, it meshes my words together.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, I'm trying not to freak out.
No, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I'm not understanding why you're not seeing, even on okay, so when you go to, where your where it says mute and start camera on StreamYard. Okay, so if you're looking at your StreamYard screen, if you look at the bottom, right under the screen where you can see me, yourself, and A1, you should see buttons to mute, start your camera, settings, present. You don't see any of those buttons?
Okay. No. Okay, so I have a question then,
Go ahead.
because of course I want to do this debate, but it doesn't look like I have the stuff that you have. Can we do this the same time tomorrow then? I am so sorry. I did not mean to do this. I actually do have the stuff, and I don't know what else to do right now.
No, you good. Okay, so we got a packed day tomorrow. I have someone doing a presentation, and then we have face off. So tomorrow probably won't work, but we may be able to solve the problem tonight. Don't panic and don't feel bad. Even if you end up not being able to do it, it's nothing to feel bad about. Stuff happens. So you don't have the option to turn your camera on from StreamYard. You don't see anything that says start cam.
No.
Are you on your computer or on your phone?
I'm actually on my iPad.
Okay.
Does it have to be a computer?
No. You should still have the same options for StreamYard. Whether you're on your phone, an iPad, you should have the option to mute your mic. Hear me, come in if you think you'll be more help than me, bro. Let me I'm gonna hit your inbox with the link. Yeah, you should still, because it's StreamYard, you should still have a bar at the bottom that says leave, where you can leave studio, invite, present, settings, start cam, and mute. Because it got to give you the option to leave the studio. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so I have leave. Let's see settings.
Wait. Don't. If you see leave studio, what's on the left-hand side of leave studio?
Mine has more ... It's basically what I'm seeing.
Okay, so hit that button.
Okay.
What you see?
I have settings. There's recordings and comments. That's all I'm seeing.
So nothing about present.
No.
So that may be an iPad issue. Okay. So that might be the problem. It might be an iPad issue. Now that I wouldn't know how to solve. So I sent him the link. He may be able to come in and help us out. Do you have a laptop?
At home? Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming you're not at home.
No. I'm about to say, okay. And that's why I was saying, if it's with the laptop thing, all we have to do is move the date. Give me time. I just need to kind of find it. I kind of recently moved. But besides that, yeah, I don't know how to send this to you or anything.
Okay. What's up, Henry?
What's up? I was just trying to see what the sister needed help with, because I really am looking forward to her putting these parts on A1.
So she wasn't able to send me her presentation, and she said when she tried to do it to her Google Drive, it kind of mashed up the presentation, and when she tried to attach it, it said it was too big. And she on an iPad, so she don't even see the option to present it.
And she can't send. Can you drop the file in a messenger chat, Quinn? If that's possible. If you have your save PowerPoint or Word doc, whatever you got it on, can you drop that file in a messenger chat? That way,
copy the file and then inbox it to me.
Yeah. If she drop it in there, because Messenger it got a large file size it can accept. So PowerPoint should be able to, be sent, no problem. You just got to attach it.
Okay. What you think, Quinn? Did you hear what he said?
You said copy the file?
Yeah, copy the file and then send it to my inbox.
Okay, let me try.
Shout out to Mika One. Mika One, we good? We straight? Can I mod you up again?
Let me see.
So that's a yes. I can go ahead and mod you up. If I admit I miss having you as a moderator, would that entice you to let me mod you up? I appreciate it. Just let me know when you inbox.
Okay, I think I sent the link to you.
Okay.
And it should be like a Canva design type thing.
Okay. I don't see it in my inbox yet, but it might take a minute to do its download. Shout out to Apollo Bay. So, family, bear with us. This is the sister first time in a professional debate league. And I do say professional because each of these individuals, if we are able to get this debate done, will walk away with $50 in their pocket. As we said, if you are one of our title holders, when you defend your title, you earn $100 and your opponent will earn $50. That's every debate within the Versus Series debate league. So yes, indeed, we are a professional debate league. This is the sister first time. I should have done this before we went live, tested all this out, but I misunderstood what the sister was saying. So we can put all that on me if this isn't able to take place, because the sister did try to get some clarity on it, but I just misunderstood what she was saying. So don't fault her, fault me. But we are still going to try to bring it to you if we can.
I still apologize, though, to the audience. I am so sorry if this does not work tonight. I'm really sorry.
All right, we just waiting for this to download. Probably going to take a little bit of a minute. And then once it's complete, I get it and we'll do our thing. So bear with us. And if we have to call it, then we'll call it and we'll figure out when we can get this thing rescheduled. And we'll try to do that as soon as possible. We do have Pan defending the title next Saturday against our brother LP, the Grape, the chief ambassador. So it will probably have to be the following week. So, but we will get that done ASAP if we have to reschedule, but hopefully we won't. And again, don't blame the sister. I should have understood what she was saying when she broached this subject, and I should have had her tested out before we even went live. So again, it's not her fault. She did try to get this taken care of beforehand. So cast all your stones at DMG. And did you sent that to our group chat with Craig, or you sent it to just my inbox?
I sent it to your Gmail, the paradigm shift one.
Oh, I'm thinking you sent it to me on Messenger, sis. You see what I mean about me misunderstanding? Hey, y'all remember, family? I only got a GED, so I don't claim to be a scholar or whatnot. So bear with me. I just got a GED. I took a little college, but as you see, I ain't got the degree. So don't see it yet. Let me check my spam, because sometimes that's where it end up. But I don't see it in there. Okay, so you sent it as an attachment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least, I'm sorry, it should be a link. Give me just a sec. Let me see again. Let's try.
I believe I have it. It's a Canva doc, right?
Yeah.
Yep, I believe I got it. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in business. Sis, I'm going to share your screen. I appreciate y'all bearing with a brother. As I said, blame me for the delay, not the sister. Shout out to my man, ECG in the building. Shout out to Nerdy Brew. We are in business. Let me share the sister's screen, and you just tell me when to go to the next slide.
Okay.
All right. Time will start when you start. And remember, and just like I said, let me know when to go to the next slide.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Can you hear me before we begin?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So, all right. Just beginning. Does the Bible condone rape? And it's by me, of course. You can go ahead and go to the next screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with the quote of the day. We are free to choose our choices, but we are not free to choose the consequences of those actions. And this is by Stephen R. Covey. And that is going to be basically the backdrop of my entire argument for the most. Next screen, please. Okay, so my job tonight is to prove that God doesn't condone rape by using the Bible. God never accepted this act without giving out any consequences. In fact, as you will later see, rape often. Huh?
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Oh. Rape often sends the situation spiraling into devastation and chaos every time. If God condones this, can AONE explain these outcomes? Next, please. Okay, so some definitions, in which I know this is still the opening, but I have a lot to go over, so I'm pushing as much as I can. So the definitions are going to be covet, which is yearn to possess or have; condone, which is accept or allow behavior that is considered morally wrong or offensive to continue. Also, condone, because I found it both on Merriam-Webster and Oxford Dictionary. It's going to be to regard or treat something bad or blameworthy as acceptable, forgivable, or harmless. Next slide, please. Okay, and real quick, we're just going to go over some of God's rules. Go ahead. Next slide for me. Okay, so the 10 Commandments. There are some of these that will basically, that kind of imply not to rape people, basically. And the first one's going to be honor your father and mother. I don't know any parent who's going to be happy to have a child who does this. Thou shalt not steal. If you're stealing someone's innocence, if you're stealing a part of their body that all of society wants to judge them by, I would say
That is time. That
really?
is
Yeah.
time.
Keep going. Sorry.
Remember your opening is only 3 minutes. So that is the time. So we are now getting ready to go into the round session, which means our brother AONE will kick this thing off as the affirmative. Let me reset the time at 10 minutes. This will be the Bible Breakers opening salvo. Let me know if you need me to share your screen. AONE, are you there?
Yes. Hold on.
I'll mute you. There you go.
My screen isn't presented still.
It is. Give me 1 second. All right.
All right, this is where I ended off. Okay, we back.
Time starts.
Okay, and we can start now. In response to what Quinn was just talking about, the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, mess with his donkey, etc., etc. That's more a law about property ownership, which is how the Bible views women as property. It wasn't really about punishment for rape. It was you're messing with another man's property. That's why they grouped in a wife with a donkey. Let's keep it moving. Hold on, can you pause my time? Can you hear me?
Time is paused. I'll be keeping my mic muted while y'all present. Time is paused at 9:24.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready now. I had to get back to my PowerPoint presentation. I was on the StreamYard.
All right, time starts.
Okay, let's go. The fallacy. It's a logical fallacy to say it wasn't rape because it was a different time back then. And I'm sure that there's going to come a point in this debate where she's going to pull this, probably in a question and answer round. This argument commits the appeal to tradition or chronological snobbery fallacy. It tries to excuse or redefine a morally or legally wrong action by pointing to the norms or values of a past era without engaging with whether the act itself was ethical or harmful. She's also done this just by saying, well, there were consequences or things didn't go well after a rape. That doesn't mean that it wasn't condoned. And we're going to get into why that's fallacious. Rape is defined by lack of consent, not by social attitudes of the time or how bad things turned out after the rape happened. Okay? Saying it wasn't rape because society was more permissive of coercion or didn't persecute certain behaviors, this doesn't change the objective reality of the act. This kind of reasoning avoids responsibility by appealing to cultural relativism in a way that ignores the victim's experience or harm caused. It can also be seen as a moral relativism defense that confuses legality or social norms with morality, and that's what we don't want to do. It's a red herring, distracting from the question of whether the person can give consent. In some contexts, a post hoc rationalization where someone reinterprets past behavior to avoid guilt or blame so they don't have to feel bad that they believe in the Bible, even though these stories are still in there. So while social attitudes may have been different, using that as a reason to say it wasn't rape is not logically or ethically valid. Let's keep it moving. Jewish Women's Association, encyclopedia. The most pernicious example of violence against women appears in a number of prophetic books in which a marriage metaphor is employed. In these texts, God is described as a faithful husband, and Israel is described as a sexually promiscuous wife. Sexual promiscuity is a metaphor for the Israelite or Judean treaties with other nations and synchronistic religious practices. In all of these passages, readers are invited to sympathize with God and to support the violent discipline of his unfaithful wife. In this manner, these biblical texts have been used to condone domestic violence and communicate to men that it is within their right to beat their wives into submission. The domestic violence metaphor first appears in Hosea 1-3, where the prophet Hosea imagines his wife, Gomer, to be an adulterous woman. Hosea then takes his personal experiences and equates them with the relationship between God and Israel. God/Hosea threatens to expose the woman's nakedness and to give her to other men to be raped and beaten. Similar texts appear in the early sections of Jeremiah and Ezekiel. Ezekiel 16 and 23 are especially brutal, describing the wife with unrestrained sexual freedom, which needs to be controlled by public shaming, exposure of her genitals, rape, beating, and mutilation. These horrific texts feed male sexual fantasies and have been termed by some recent commentators as pornoprophetic because of the way women's bodies have been objectified and sexualized. Okay? And this article continues. In the history of interpretation, these texts have been used to promote the idea that men have the right to use violence as a method of control over women. While the violence against women in the narrative material is explicit and easy to identify, violence through the language of metaphor is more insidious. It is easy to claim that it's just a metaphor, but biblical commentators have read these texts with complete empathy for God's perspective. They build further upon these texts, describing how lucky Israel is because God doesn't ultimately abandon her. Only in recent decades have readers of these texts pointed to ways in which they reflect and refine violence against women. These texts suggest that women are generally the property of men and as such may be controlled, manipulated, and brutalized however the man sees fit. Another good read and source material for you guys if you want to look into this. This is Battered Love, Marriage, Sex, and Violence in Hebrew Prophets. Renita J. Weems examines how the Hebrew Bible employs the metaphor of the adulterous wife to depict divine judgment, often involving graphic portrayals of sexual violence. This book analyzes how prophetic texts utilize rape imagery to convey messages of punishment and shame, which is a current theme throughout the Bible. In the chapter titled, Yet I Will Remember My Covenant with You, the world of romance and rape, Weems discussed how the prophet's language intertwines themes of love and violence, leading to a complex and often disturbing depiction of divine human relationships. She emphasizes the need for readers to be aware of these dynamics and to avoid reinforcing oppressive ideologies. Excuse me, I spelled that wrong. But oppressive ideologies. Her analysis highlights how certain biblical narratives, through their metaphoric language, seem to normalize and overlook sexual violence. Okay, let's keep it moving. The Unholy Bible, Slavery, Female Objectification, and Harm, by Natalia A.D. Martins, University of South Carolina, Columbia. Page 36, it reads, "We shall begin by looking at the biblical rhetoric that inferiorizes, objectifies, and commodifies women. Starting at the book of Genesis, women were treated as objects undeserving of respect. God, after creating Adam, the first man in the world, decides to make him a helper, fit for him. After creating the helper, that is Eve, God explains that if matter of contention comes between him and her, he shall rule over you. This indicates a kind of expectation regarding the relationship between husband and wife. But what about the women who are not yet married? Well, as the descendants of Adam started to multiply themselves, men simply took as their wives as they chose. Genesis 6:2. And this objectifying relationship solidifies itself when we see Lot giving away his 2 daughters to the men of Sodom to do with them as you please. Genesis 19:4-8. An important consideration to add is that later in 2 Peter 2:7, we find that Lot is considered a righteous man for this. Okay. In the lead off chapter of the Holy Book, we notice the primary conceptions that women are to be regarded as either their father's or their husband's property and a tool for exchange. Okay. So that's why she was going into the 10 Commandments saying, do not covet thy neighbor's wife. God can give you property laws, but he couldn't give you a law that said sexual assault against women was wrong. That is so simple, but he could have did it, but he didn't. I'm not going to preach today. Let's keep it moving. A woman's desires are not free from her constraints, the constraints of her husband. It is. And as long as she wants to work, towards receiving eternal salvation from God. So
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
She has to submit herself in every way, if she wants to receive God's eternal salvation. It continues on page 40 of in this writing, The Unholy Books, Bible, Slavery, Female Objectification, and Harm. Virgin women, and this is another consistent theme. Virgins were considered, this virgin, I don't want to use that word, P-U-S-S-Y. Okay, let me just read this. Virgin women were consistently being sought off for King Ashurias' harem, where they would be forced to beautify themselves for 12 months to be at the whim of the king, waiting for when she would be summoned to lie with him. Okay, another theme that's also consistent in the Bible is intermarital rape, and we're going to get into that because coercion is a form of rape as well. But if free virgin women's sexuality was another commodity introspective of their consent, servants and prisoners of war bore the brunt. Genesis 3:33 portrays a controversial passage nowadays, which has inspired teachings of certain Christian denominations. In Genesis, Rachel gives Jacob her servant, Belial, so that he can have the child he desires. And so he does. Sarah gives Hagar her handmaid, and Abraham to impregnate. That's Genesis 16:3. Leah also gives Jacob her servant, Zilpah, to bear his son, and so she did. Most striking is Leah's assertion that God has given me wages because I gave my servant to my husband, showing that not only did she do the right thing in giving her servants out to be raped, but that her husband, God, also rewarded her for it. So this is another instance where it's being rewarded. And she said that I'm going to have to show up and prove that.
That is time. That is time. Our brother, A1, the Bible breaker, on fire with his opening salvo, his opening round. The brother was...
Excuse my spelling errors, too. Excuse my spelling errors. I see that title is spelled
The brother say excuse his
Wait,
spelling.
okay.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
nobody remember the spelling errors, brother. I think they remember a powerful opening rhyme. We are now reset at 10 minutes. We have the enigmatic newcomer, Quinn, starting her 10 minutes. Did you want to start at the place you left off, or do you want me to move this thing up, sis?
I think I'll go ahead and start where I left off, but I want to be sure before I begin. Is your time saying 8:23?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I have to 8:33. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can turn myself over here because the screen is moving slow on my end. It's fine. I'll see if I can get through it. But I'll go ahead and I'll start right now.
All right, time starts.
So
Okay, I apologize. I paused it. 3 seconds went by, but I'm gonna go set it right back to 10. I'm gonna ask both of y'all for this round for your 10 minutes this time, Quinn. You'll get a 2-minute warning like A1 did.
Mm-hmm.
The next round, do you want a 5-minute warning and a 2-minute warning, or do you want one or the other, a 5-minute or a 2-minute? That's for both of y'all for round 2.
With the way all of this is going, I'll take any warning you give me right now.
Okay, A1, do you have a preference? A 2-minute warning or a 5-minute warning, or do you want both?
I'll take both. I appreciate you.
All right, A1 said he'll take both. Quinn seems to agree. So we'll do a 5-minute warning. I'll let you know when you got 5 minutes left, and I'll let you know when you got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
I don't, it kind of seemed like I stopped the momentum when I do that. So I want to make sure that's exactly what y'all want. So, all right, Quinn, time will start when you start talking.
Okay. So I am at this other part where it says, do not covet your neighbor's wife, his manservant, his maidservant, his ox, his donkey, etc., etc. But the thing is not to focus on the objects. The thing is basically to focus on respect your neighbor and anything that falls supposedly under them. But I'm going to be honest, a woman is still your neighbor. Notice how, and you can go to the next slide. Notice how, when it comes to neighbor, the Bible never lists, oh, male neighbor, brother neighbor, father neighbor. It never says a male, it says neighbor. So, as it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, okay? And then it's like, so in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. It's basically what it's saying. So, would you want to be assaulted? Then don't do it to anybody else. Man, woman, child, etc. It's that simple. Next slide. There we go. Okay, so let's get into the abominable sins real quick. So everything I highlighted in white is going to be basically what rape basically hits. Okay. Hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Notice that this act does all of this. So how is God not saying don't do this? Keep going for me. Okay, so all of this basically means treat people correctly, treat them righteously. And there are other scriptures that basically give consequences on if you mistreat people, you have to pay for them. So I don't know how God is condoning this when you literally have to go through all of this horrible stuff because of what you've done. Next slide, please. And next slide after this, we can get into the biblical stories. I have 3 examples right off the top. Okay, we can start with Dinah, who happens to be the only daughter of Jacob. She goes to the city because she wanted to meet some of the girls there. She ends up getting raped by the prince. He couldn't think to show his riches to her or to talk to her or anything. He sees her, does the egregious act, and then tries to pay for her as a wife as if he did not just violate her. So what happens next? Next slide. Or I'm sorry, she has one slide, I think. But what happens next is basically her brothers come and kill him, all the men in the city, and all of this. And it's like, where does this come from? You being stupid. You had how many choices? I think he had at least 2 choices to not do this in that story. And he still went along with it. Next slide. Okay, Tamar. I'm sorry, stay right on Tamar. Okay, she is the daughter of King David. She is her half brother Amnon. Faked illness lured her into a trap and then raped her. So he ends up being killed. Okay, notice that all these killings are like non-consent, by the way. They don't get to say, oh, well, you know, she's a woman or it's my bad. No, people just killing them as they deserve. So my thing is, next slide. Okay, I'll say okay, so Tamar's story is actually really tragic here because this is her fate. Her fate is basically that she ends up dying alone with no marriage or anything in her brother's house, and she's a princess of Israel. That situation should not have taken away from her status, and yet it did. So, next slide for me. If she's going through stuff like this, what hope is there for women who are of lower status? Keep that in your mind and keep Tamar's fate in your mind as we go through all of this. Okay. And I just basically said all of this. So next slide.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay, we can hit Levite's concubine, and we can already talk about how the Levites are supposed to be priests of Israel anyway. This is during a time where in Israel, they basically give up on God. They don't want a leader, a king, anything. So they're just doing as they please. So this guy comes up with a concubine. We're already way out of bounds here, okay? Anyways, he goes to a town, Gibeah, and they want to basically gang Grape him. So instead of him handling the situation or doing something else, he sends out the concubine. The concubine is basically Grape to death all night, literally, to the point where, in which you can go to the next slide, her body is left on basically the doorstep of where they were. He takes her body, cuts it up, and sends it to the 12 tribes of Israel. That's disgusting, ain't it? But see, here's the thing. As he sits here and does that, this sparks a civil war with all of Israel. The other tribes come against this mob that attacked this girl in the first place. And basically, it's to the point that the whole Benjamin tribe is almost killed in a civil war over this situation. These 3 stories, death each and every time. So how is God condoning this when you die after it? I don't understand. And it's not like oh, well, you know, he passed away eventually. No. People are literally coming for your neck, sword to the throat type thing. We're not playing with y'all on this. Keep going for me, please. Okay. So we can go ahead to sowing and reaping. Next slide. Okay, let's look at the impending consequences because God already says it right here. Galatians, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Please keep going for me. Okay, and now that we went over that, please understand that this is an earthly principle. You cannot get by this that God put in the earth. Okay, so once again, would you rather mistreat others and hit the consequences of this, or basically mind your business and let women be women? Please keep going for me. Okay, and we already covered, because I'm like
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So keep going for me on the certain death, because they all die. Keep going. Okay, and you can also keep going on this one, because it is the same thing. Okay, so ask, if God condoned this, why is there justice dealt after every story? There is no way a person can do this much damage and then get away with it. Okay, it's a crime that is destructive. Okay, there is no way that you can get out of this. So at the end of the day, I have to sit here and ask, is this God's fault, or is this from the actions of men? Keep going for me. And this is just my opinion. It serves them all right what happened to them. Now, I know as a Christian, I'm supposed to be nicer about this and all this, but I'm just telling the truth. I enjoy all of their fates, okay? But keep going. All right. And we can get, actually, I'll stop here.
All right. You had 46 seconds on the clock. We will reset the time at 10 minutes for our brother AONE. Time will be at 10 minutes for our brother. Let me get his screen up. And AONE, I have to go make a quick, let's say, see a man about a horse. Do you want to wait for me to do that? I'll play a song or something. Or do you want to go ahead and start your time, risking that you may need to stop your time while I'm taking care of business, so to speak? I can play a song, handle my business, and then we can get back to it, or you can take that risk. I'll leave it up to you.
I want you to, we've been waiting all night, which is no problem to me, though. Go handle your business. I want you to be present for everything that's going on.
All right. All right, family. Let me play a quick tune. Y'all sit tight. We will be right back.
I brought that with me. Case they get too easy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we had. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. With the boy, I'm so seen. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fact. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that legally before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty dick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. So don't know
I don't know about y'all, but I wanted to play that whole joint. But we back. A1, let's get your screen back up. Oh, you gotta share it again. Go ahead and share your screen. Shout out to my man, Super Wavy. Shout out to Mama B in the building. I gotta go in here and drop a bomb for Mama B. And real quick, family, look, if y'all rock with us, y'all rock with Mama B. June 2nd is Mama B Day on Paradigm Shift. If she got some favorite debates, I'm asking her to get them to me. I'm gonna play them all day. We're gonna go live, celebrate the godmother of Paradigm Shift TV 314. Shout out to you, Mama B. Hope you're enjoying the debate. Hope you're enjoying the show. A1, time will start when you start, brother. You got 10 minutes. You gotta unmute, bro. A1, you gotta unmute.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'm just having some technical difficulties over here.
Okay.
Myself, I gotta close some of this stuff out. Okay, where are we at? What do you see on the screen? Lonely, need a companion. Okay. Let me find
Time starts.
Okay. She says that she loves the fates of these people that she reads about, but she loves the fates of the people that she reads about in Deuteronomy 22, 28 through 29. It reads, if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her, and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the young woman, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives. This is another instance where the Bible helps facilitate rape. It doesn't condemn or condone it. Let's continue. This law on the surface might appear to offer some form of reparation, requiring the man to pay a fine and marry the woman, but it completely ignores the trauma the woman has experienced. Instead of focusing on her well-being, it reduces her to a commodity, something to be exchanged in a financial transaction. What we see here is a reflection of the deeply patriarchal view that women are property, and their autonomy or consent doesn't even factor into the equation. Okay? As scholar R.K. Harrison points out, this law treats the woman's worth as tied to her marital status, and her violation is seen not as an assault on her bodily integrity, but as a breach of her father's property rights. God creating special conditions instead of outlawing it, passively aggressively encourages, enables, and helps facilitate it. Let's continue. Tikva Freimer-Kinsky also argues that punishment in this case, justifying enforced marriage, does not reflect the severity of the crime of rape. Grape. Instead, it punishes the woman further by forcing her to marry her grapist for life. This means she's being punished twice, okay? Once by the crime itself, and again by the lifelong consequence of being bound to her attacker. Her agency is completely disregarded, and her ability to make choices for herself is stripped away. This passage, like others in the Bible, reflects a time and culture where women's rights and experiences were secondary to the desires and privileges of men. This is a clear example of a biblical law that condones rather than condemns the violation of women. Numbers 31, 15 through 18. And Moses said unto them, I don't know why that just sounds so epic. That's an epic intro right there. Moses said unto them, have you allowed all the women to live? He asked them. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that the plague struck the Lord's people. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. Now, what these warriors were going to do with all of these
captive women who captive virgins who they had just gathered together. You know, one can only imagine. You know, and I don't want to be too graphic here, so I'll leave that up to you. But we know what was going on. And this is an example of the Bible helping encourage and facilitate it in certain instances. Deuteronomy 21, 10 through 14. When the Lord your God gives you victory in a battle, and you take prisoners, you may see among them a beautiful woman that you like and want to marry. Take her to your home, where she will shave her head. Right here, we have a humiliation ritual after already having her whole family killed. It says, cut her fingernails and make her change her clothes. She is to stay in your home and mourn her parents for a month. After that, you may marry her. Later, if you no longer want her, you are to let her free, since you forced her to have intercourse with you. And you cannot treat her as a slave and sell her. Now, they may think that this is progressive for the time, but I'm not impressed. Okay. And she can't just sidestep this stuff. War Grape is a consistent theme throughout the Bible, and you're going to see that. What I don't want her to do is to be anachronistic in her understanding and say it was a different time back then, when we can obviously see the same things happening today, where women are being forced into marriages, where war is being waged, and one side is actually sexually assaulting men and women on the other side, and we're going to get into that. Okay, you know, this is sick, and this isn't something that I would teach my daughter. Let's keep it moving. Everything is legitimate. Now, this is coming off of the term anachronistic. Okay,
5 minutes.
Thank you. Anachronistic, belonging to a period other than that being portrayed. So when someone says it was a different time back then, you know, that's what they're trying to do. And I don't want her to be anachronistic in her understanding. Everything is legitimate. Israeli leaders defend soldiers accused of Grape. Israeli society is divided over the arrest of 10 soldiers for the brutal gang rape of a Palestinian prisoner caught on video. Okay, CCTV camera is catching these people doing this today. You know what? I was going to slide that in there, but I'm going to leave her alone today. I see I got her riled up and upset, and I don't want her to crash out. She's having a lot of difficulties today. I'm not going to pick on her. Israelis beg to great prisoners, literally today. IDF colonel rabbi implies Grape is permitted in war. Where would they get this idea from? Where? Obviously, the text they're reading. Let's get into it. Answering a question from a concerned reader regarding Torah's position on Grape during war, Colonel E.L. Kareem of the military rabbinites wrote 9 years ago, out of uniform, that prohibitions against immorality are removed during war. Let's get into it. Is it permitted for a Jewish soldier to grape a Gentile woman during wartime? This question, based on the biblical mitzvah Ishet Yafat Torah, was referred to 9 years ago by Rabbi E.L. Kareem. The questioning party seemed anxious and worried and wanted to know whether the Iron Age mitzvah is applicable to IDF soldiers today. He wrote, this rabbi wrote, as in war, the prohibition against risking your life is broken for the benefit of others. So are the prohibitions against immorality of kashrut. Wine touched by Gentiles, consumption which is prohibited in peacetime, is allowed at war to maintain the good spirit of the warriors. Consumption of prohibited foods is permitted at war to maintain fitness of the warriors, even though they are prohibited during peacetime. Just so war removes some of the prohibitions on sexual relations. And even though fraternizing with Gentile women is a very serious matter, it was permitted during wartime out of the understanding for the hardship endured by the warriors. And since the success of the whole at war is our goal, the Torah permitted the individual to satisfy the evil urge under the conditions mentioned for the purpose of the success of the whole. So we see where this is coming from. We see why this is rampant today. And that's why I say this book is dangerous. The Old Testament and the New Testament. Let's continue with topics of wartime grape. Are they not finding and dividing the spoil? A girl or two for each warrior, a plunder of dyed garments for Sisera,
2 minutes.
spoil of embroidered garments for the neck of the looter. Judges 5:30. This is just another passage that reinforces the idea of taking sex slaves. Sex slaves. I can say that on here. Imagine if there were somebody today who came along and threatened Grape and said, if you don't do these certain things or act in a certain way, they were going to come along and grape you or grape your wife or give her away to somebody to be graped. We should view this person, we would view this person as a moral monster. But this is exactly how the God of the Bible is portrayed. Okay? Let's keep it moving. Zechariah 14:2. I'm going to read the green to the right. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Okay? Rape is not, what this is saying is rape is not inherently sinful, and rape can be used righteously as punishment against women. Okay? There's no other way to interpret this. Does the Bible condone rape? If your God is coming up with a plan to come and ravish your city and rape your women, excuse me, I can't help. I'm sorry. If God is coming up with a plan to ravish your city and rape your women, your God is a moral monster. It's hard to find a monster more moral than this. And essentially what we have in Zechariah is God saying, okay, you haven't been paying me any attention. You're not listening to me. You're falling apart. Some of you are faithful, but many of you aren't. So I'm going to arrange to have everybody come and fight you, destroy your villages, and grape your women. And then I'll take the righteous ones who are left and we will rebuild. There are some people who will look at this passage and say, oh, this is wonderful because God's telling us what's coming so we can prepare ourselves. But
that is time. That is time. The Bible breaker with another powerful round. And that is the conclusion of his portion of the round section. We're going to reset the time at 10 minutes. Let me pull up the sister's screen. I got to get A1s down. And now let me get the sister added. And your time will start when you start talking. Can you hear me, Quinn?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. But yes, let's go ahead with mine because I'm not really aggravated with A1. I'm more so aggravated with everything that's trying to fight me right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into a reflection of men. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so let's address this because I also have Deuteronomy 21:10-14, and he read it, but I've highlighted some stuff that God actually said. So it says, basically, when the Lord gives you victory in battle, you take prisoners. You may see among them a beautiful woman that you would like and want to marry. Take her home, where she will shave her head, cut her fingernails, change her clothes. She is to stay in your house and mourn with her parents for a month. After that, you may marry her. Later, if you no longer want her, you are to let her go free. Since you forced her to have intercourse with you, you cannot treat her as a slave and sell her. Now, please go to the next slide because this is pretty easy to break down. So let's go ahead and talk about context here, where Oh, I'm sorry. There's this other scripture that basically says, do not oppress a foreigner. You yourselves know how it feels to be foreigners in Egypt. So if we're talking about foreign wife, he's already hitting you with this, where it's like, you can't be rude to a foreigner. That includes your wife. So he gets you as a husband and a native, and you'll see in the next one. Keep going. Okay, so this situation starts after the victory of a battle, which likely means that all men who were able to protect the woman and provide for her at that time are likely killed. Which means, as a woman at that time, she is defenseless. Also, note that God never told the soldiers that they are to take a woman. This is a suggestion for the dumb soldiers who want to take this situation. Okay? You don't have to do this. Keep going. Okay. And God tells those who want to take in a foreign wife to let her grieve in a separation with her parents and all this. And what was it? To cut off her fingernails, clothes, and to shave her head. You guys, I know this sounds extreme, but this is not a humiliation ritual. It's a purification. Context number 3, next slide. The reason for the purification ritual is because if you are marrying another guy at this time, you're going into his culture. So guess who you fall under if you're going to his culture? You're being assimilated under God. So guess who she would fall under the protection of? God. Keep going for me. Okay, so I need people to tell me that, because this is basically forced marriage. This is what this is. It's forced marriage and then consummation after that. The issue here is that society is holding women by this standard that their virginity basically is going to was it? Your virginity is everything. Never mind the fact that she's actually a woman. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, where did God say treat women like this in general? As in, if she has sex with someone, then disregard her. Treat her like crap and all this stuff. Where? Or if my thing is, if she is great, why are you treating her as if she's a throw? Keep going for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this verse here, because it says, 1 Peter chapter 3, 7, 9, in the same way your husbands must give honor to your wives, treat your wife with understanding as you live together. She may be weaker than you are, but she is your equal partner in God's gift of new life. Treat her as treat her as you should, so your prayers will not be hindered. Right there, he's offering spiritual protection to the wife. If you disrespect her, something's coming your way, and he's going to close his ears to your prayers to save yourself in that situation. As a husband, keep going. So remember, please remember, we live in a world of free will. Okay, so God is making these
5
rules.
minutes.
Gotcha. God is making these rules because men are doing this stupid stuff. When you have children who do stupid stuff, notice how you start taking stuff away and you start making outrageous rules. But it wasn't, you didn't start making out these rules. People started acting up, so you start doing this. God never told men to treat women this way, is what we're all missing in this situation for whatever reason. Please keep going for me. Okay, let's go ahead and do the mindset towards women. Keep going. Next verse. Next slide. Okay, so this scripture, Deuteronomy 22:28 through 29. If a man finds a young woman who is a virgin, who is not betrothed, he seizes her and lies with her, and they are found out, then then the man who lay with her shall give to the young woman's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife because he has humbled her. He shall not be permitted to divorce her all his days. Keep going. Okay, so in this situation, this is not this is not a scenario that actually involves rape. I'm going to be honest. There are two translations out there, and of course he picks the worst one. But my thing is, this is basically describing extramarital fornication, okay? And which means that he basically seduced her, she went for it, okay? And then they end up being found out they did something unholy together. So in order to save her pride, because this is how men treat women, they have to get married, okay? And my thing is, God never said, I need one scripture that says that God said, if a woman is not a virgin, treat her like crap, or, basically isolate her and all this stuff. Please remember the story of Tamar. She didn't deserve any of that. And yet this is how people treated her, not because God wanted them to. It's because men literally said, oh, well, you're defiled.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Gotcha. But no, literally men said that. So is this God, or is this men thinking horribly of women starting out from the gate? Keep going for me. The second meaning of this is going to be, once again, who is making these rules in society? Because it's not God telling you to do that. Okay, and I'll go ahead and bring this up, even though I actually could not find that scripture where it says something about a rapist marrying his victim. Okay, I'm going to be really, really honest with you. I couldn't find it. I tried. I really did try. But my thing about it is, in that situation, once again, this falls on the men. If she is being defiled and all of society is already turning against her, she can't even go home to her father for him to take care of her. She cannot work. She cannot do any of these things because of stuff that men are saying. They're already against her because something that wasn't even her fault. Keep going for me. I don't know how else to break this down. It just seems like people want to hate the Bible, but yeah, keep going for me. Okay, so my thing is, how do men turn such a blind eye towards their own actions? Okay, you do this to a woman, you put her in this situation, you literally set up this whole system for her to be the supposed bad guy if something bad happened to her by your own side. And then she's supposed to just go through life as nothing because you
Is time. Oh, man. Look, I don't know about y'all out in the audience, because again, I remember I said I just got a little GED, so I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but both of these debaters, the veteran A1, been down with the Versus series since day one. I ain't even mean for that to be a boy, y'all, but I know that was a boy. Anyway, is it the veteran A1, a Versus series original, or the rookie, the newcomer, the enigmatic Quinn? Because they both just blew me away with that information that they put down. the performances, like they both just blew me away. I hope y'all enjoying it as well. We are now at everybody's favorite part of the Versus series. Ratchet Craig calls it the interrogation room. Classic Craig just says it's just the Q&A. I call it the chin check session. And to prove my title is more fitting, AONE can attest to the fact that he got his chin checked when he went against the brother Henry. Because at one point, my man's didn't quite know where he was. But he a veteran. He been doing this for a long time. He didn't put other people in a pickle in the chin check session. He's the reason the chin check session is the chin check session. When it comes to the chin check session, AONE is the pressure. Quinn is a newcomer. Can she withstand AONE in the chin check session? I think the sister can do it. I hope for her sake, I'm right. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. AONE was the affirmative. He went first in the round section. So he'll go last in the chin check section. So Quinn will now have 10 minutes to grill the Bible breaker. Put the pressure on the pressure if she can. Quinn, whenever you're ready, the time will start when you start. Here and there, I will display the time for both of y'all to see. I will remind y'all when y'all have 5 minutes and when y'all have 2 minutes, you do have 3 opportunities to stop your time in case you feel like your questions aren't getting answered. Remember, it's up to the person asking the questions to mind the time. If the other person stalls them out, that's not my fault. That's the person asking the question's fault because they do have some options. If it stalls too much, I will get involved as the moderator, but for the most part, it is between these two parties. These are professionals. Like I said, they get paid to do this. So I know they know how far to take it when we talk about getting spicy and still keep it respectful. So DMG ain't got to kick nobody out or disqualify nobody. That being said, Quinn, you have 10 minutes to try to put some pressure on the man who made this part of the debate what it is. Time to start when you're ready.
Okay.
No pressure.
That's right. Okay. So clearly, AONE, you do not believe in the Bible, but I have to say, why does he suddenly exist for you to blame when it comes to other people's actions?
Can you clarify? I don't really understand your question. It made an assumption about me. I don't believe it's true. Can you ask?
You have been making assumptions about me through your whole debate, but okay.
About you?
No. Anyways, I'm saying if God does not exist in general, how basically does this not fall on the men who did this? Why is God taking the fall for the actions of these men who are competent in thinking and supposedly controlling themselves?
I didn't put the actions of that on God, and you led with if he doesn't exist, as if this is a debate about atheism versus theism, and it's not. I never really made the claim that he exists or that he doesn't. I just haven't seen it. So that's a whole other topic.
He exists enough for you to say that he condones this, though. Who's actually doing the actions here? Let's go ahead and make it simple. Who's doing the actions of this abuse?
It would be the perpetrator.
The perpetrator, who would be
The man.
okay, who can think for himself, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, so you said something in which I'm quoting you because you brought this up, I think, in your second round. You said the deeply patriarchal view that women are a commodity. Who's the patriarchy?
The men who believe they are following the teachings of the Bible.
Really?
Si, senora.
Okay. Let's see. And I'm just trying to figure out I'm just trying to figure out who is giving all these rules to treat women this way, because I'm not really finding the scriptures for it. One, I will say, because you said this thing about Sarah, in which you wanted to bring up her slave Hagar in a situation. Now, I have to say, in this situation, who made that situation so? Did God give the instruction, or did Sarah, in her impatience with God's instruction, go against God instead and do that?
I think what's important more to look at with that scripture is the fact that she was rewarded for doing it. So
How was she rewarded?
it said that God gave her wages. I read that scripture. Like you said, you couldn't find these passages, but you have to just rewind the debate and then you'll
Can you
see.
describe what the wages are?
I'm not sure. I don't make up words for the Bible. It didn't describe what the wages specifically were, but it said she received them.
So wait, you had a point and then you didn't flesh out your whole point?
That would be irrelevant to the debate. What
because
form of monetary payment was it?
No. Because if we're going to sit here, because I'm saying, if we remember the story, God promised her a child before that whole situation. The only thing I remember is her getting a child after that, but still, that was promised before she went against God.
Okay. You got to do a little bit more studying. You're going to be okay.
No, you
have a question? You're telling me what you didn't see when you looked. That's nice. But again, once you rewind this, you'll see scriptures that I pulled.
So I'll keep going. All right.
Thank you.
So let's see. Okay, so I will say this part where when we talk about Israel, and you were talking about how they were basically used as a metaphor, and you brought up the book Battered Love. What I want to know, how did you get, in which, please make it short, how did you get
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay. How did you get the whole Israel is like a prostitute and all this stuff?
Again,
their behavior of their choices and stuff. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Again, you must have never read that scripture. And when I went back and read it for this debate, it was actually it was sickening to see how obvious it was in my face, because they were referring to the city as a prostitute. And then I remember seeing that quote, somebody reading that quote in a movie where it was some crazy guy in front of an abortion clinic screaming to the women, like, you prostitutes whoring yourselves for the nations and you're gonna burn, and like reading all of that, like trying to deter them from going to go get abortions. And it just gave me chills, like, wow, like I really used to subscribe to this stuff. Like,
okay, wait, I'm sorry, I can't get into your life story.
Go ahead. I was just answering as honestly as I possibly could.
Gotcha. Okay, I apologize. But my thing is, do you know why you said that?
Yes, because that's what the text reflects, and that's what the text, how it reads specifically.
So I'm going to say this because with a lot of the questions that I am giving you, a lot of them do run the same fault, but I have to be honest, it's kind of lining up with the same thing of in every situation, you find a way to blame God for what others are doing. Like when Israel constantly turns their back on God in like practically every story, you don't want to talk about that because we do live in a world of free will, but you want blame God or you want to blame the Bible for supposedly justifying this when people are just doing this for the sake of doing this because they want to.
Okay, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I know. You're just venting. I'll respond as if it is a question if you want me to. I was gonna say I'm not blaming anybody. The debate is, does it condone? Condone means to accept behavior. The mom doesn't have to blame this. When a mom condones her son's behavior, it's not, we're not necessarily saying it's the mom's fault, but she didn't do anything about it. She's not putting her foot down and making clear-cut rules as to what's right and wrong. She, in certain instances, enables it.
Well, okay.
In certain instances, it's clearly okay as a form of punishment.
Whoa,
go ahead. It's on you.
Thank you. I'm about to say, I can't let you just do that. But my thing about that is God has already listed several scriptures when it comes to treatment. And when it also comes to treatment, equality, and things of this nature. So if he's saying all this, and then the people at the end of the stories are being killed off, literally, how is this condoning?
People aren't being killed off when they end up marrying the woman they raped. That's, you're cherry picking situations when I've definitely highlighted situations that are outside of those parameters. Go ahead.
So there is a such thing as consequences. There's a such thing as sowing and reaping, something I've showed in my slides. Are you telling me that God...
2 minutes.
Gotcha. Are you telling me that God does not enforce any of that?
Well, the law was that if you rape a woman, you have to pay her husband 50 shekels of silver. So
you mean pay her father?
Pay her father, excuse me, because not her. You're not giving her anything because she's someone else's property.
But this
was a damaged property now, so you have to pay for that. And that's this type of thinking is what puts the woman lower, and this type of law helps facilitate this stuff to keep happening because there is no punishment. Nobody's dying off here. This is the perfect example where what you're reaping or sowing, I should say, is a beautiful family one day, and this is how you can get it started. Pick any beautiful woman and just take her.
Doesn't really,
you got a couple dollars, you turn her into your wife.
I'm gonna be honest, from the ones that I did list, everybody pretty much died. Even a mob of people ended up dying. So wait, what are you saying?
I mean, the scripture, it's not what I'm saying, it's what the scripture's saying. And
you're twisting scripture.
Nobody dies this is a law that I'm reading. This isn't a story. In Deuteronomy, what's being given is a law there.
God also do stories.
Okay, what you're saying doesn't take away from anything that Deuteronomy is saying.
If a whole tribe almost died from what they did to one woman.
Okay. That's a beautiful instance, and I'm all with you on that. Of the law says you can.
It's time.
Woman who you grape.
It is time. We are going to reset at 10 minutes for AONE. That was Quinn's debut in the most popular portion of the Versus series, the chin check session. AONE, the man who made the chin check session what it is about to take his 10 minutes. The time will start when you start asking questions. Let's go.
Okay, in Deuteronomy 22, does the law in Deuteronomy 22 distinguish clearly between consensual sex and rape, or does it risk blaming victims based on where the act occurred?
I'm sorry, ask that again. I'm so sorry.
Does the law in Deuteronomy 22 distinguish clearly between consensual sex and rape? Excuse my language. I'll tighten that up. Or does it risk blaming victims based on where the act occurred?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say consensual because there is also a part that says if the two are found out. So I can't help but to think because in every other situation, it seems like everybody already knows what's going on. So
Well, it assumes. That's what you're saying. So there's an assumption being made. Continue.
no.
Continue.
I,
You're on the right path. You're right on the right path. Go ahead. Hit that home for me.
Thank you. So my thing is, if they are sitting here saying that if they are found out, that honestly sounds like the woman did not say anything. Too many times in the Bible, they say that the woman screams or, oh, well, even if she screamed that we did not hear her, the Bible's very clear.
Okay, well, here's my issue. Even if a woman isn't heard to be, her screams can't be heard, it doesn't mean that a sexual assault didn't occur.
That's true, and the Bible does say that because it does.
So that's the assumption that the Bible's making here.
No. The Bible.
No. Let me go ahead and continue with the questions. That's what we're going to. No. Okay.
Because you're cutting me off at a part that you know you'll die on.
Well, that's great. That's great. It's okay. It's my time. I didn't talk over you on yours.
Yes.
Why does Numbers 31, 17 through 18 allow the Israelites to keep virgin girls for themselves after slaughtering others? Does this not imply sexual slavery?
No. Because, okay, I have to be honest, Numbers, fine. Can you read it for me real quick? I want to hear it.
I sure can. No, I don't have time to do that for you. It does. And it does imply sexual slavery. What else would they be saving the virgins of the slaughter for? They're the spoils of war. Then it actually reads, you can't sell the ones who they end up forcing themselves on. They're not allowed to sell anymore, implying that there are other ones that are being sold. So there's another implication and assumption being made there. Let's keep it moving. How can Judges 19, where a concubine is raped and murdered, be reconciled with a belief in a just and loving God, especially when there's no punishment for the rapist?
One, I already showed that the whole tribe is basically killed in the Civil War. That's how the story ends. Two, when it comes to that situation, Judges, which you quote from at least,
I don't think the whole tribe being murdered for what one man did.
No, not one man. A whole mob did that to her. And most of those men were killed in Civil War. But keep going.
Okay. Why would an all omniscient being in charge of setting the moral tone for the planet allow people to take sex slaves?
Because this would be a free will planet. It goes back to why you treat women like that.
Why is he giving instructions for this to happen, though?
He didn't give instructions. Judges is a time where
in Numbers, he's giving instructions. Let's keep it moving. In Numbers, he's giving instructions.
In Judges, I will say this part. In Judges, this is a book.
I'm talking about Numbers. Let's keep it moving, though. How do laws that make a woman's virginity her father's property affect how we interpret consent and agency?
Leadership.
How do laws that make a woman's virginity her father's property, as in Exodus 22, affect how we interpret consent and agency?
Repeat.
I'll keep it moving. I think it's over your head.
No.
What moral lesson are readers supposed to take from passages where sexual violence is used as a form of divine punishment or wartime spoil?
Where?
You clearly weren't here for any of this.
No. You
this
keep
is wow. So you're just not going to answer
You're not.
You just talked about this. This is what we've been talking about the whole time. War Grape. My whole second round was on War Grape, and then I showed you War Grape in the Bible, and then War Grape happening today in Numbers, in Deuteronomy. What moral lesson are readers supposed to take from passages where sexual violence is used as a form of divine punishment or wartime spoil?
They were.
Go ahead.
They weren't. If we're talking about the whole Deuteronomy thing, again, this is a foreign wife
They
forced
weren't.
marriage
Wrong
thing.
answer. Let's keep it moving. Wrong answer. If God isn't all powerful and morally perfect, why are there laws that seem to regulate grape rather than condemn it outright?
I'm in, which I do want to point out, by the way, you keep bringing up God put in this. So my first question did count, but keep going.
Why? I'll go to the next question since you don't want to answer. Why does God command or allow his followers to take women captive in war, as in Deuteronomy 21:10-14?
He didn't.
Okay, well, you obviously didn't read it.
Some of you
Again, we'll
guys,
keep it
no,
moving.
some
We'll
of
keep it
the
moving.
men,
I already showed the
some of
slide.
the
Like
men
it was part of my
already, some
presentation.
of the
So
men already
these
had
questions are
made
key
rules for it.
following the presentation. He
Already
tells the
protected
women to shave their heads. He tells them to cut their
purification
fingernails. He tells them to keep
ritual.
them in the house.
Purification
But this
ritual.
didn't happen, and that's your answer.
Did not
I'll go to
say
the
that.
next
You are
question.
mixing up my
Does
words.
allowing marriage to captive women after war constitute a
Why
divine
are you
endorsement of
doing it in
sexual
the first
coercion?
place? Why are you doing that to those women? And if you don't do it, you leave them
The-
barren and
You're
destitute
not.
for them
I'm
to
asking a new question. Does
something
allowing
that
marriage to captive
that's
women?
the society that you
You're
made.
crashing out. Don't do that.
It falls
Does
right
allowing marriage to
on you.
captive women
It
after
falls
war
on you.
don't crash out? It's okay.
I'm not
I'm
crashing
going to
out.
take it slow with you. I'm not going to do it like the men in the Bible. Okay, just take your time. Does allowing marriage to captive women after war constitute a divine endorsement of sexual coercion?
No.
Okay, wow, that sounds really insensitive and cruel, but I'll
Sir,
accept
you
that as
think
an
this was
answer
a debate.
if
That was
that's how you
cool from the
feel.
beginning, but keep
Let's go to the next one. If slavery and concubinage are permitted in the Bible, and those include sexual rights over women, how can Christians today argue that the Bible upholds sexual ethics aligned with consent?
because this is the flaws. It points to the flaws of men, not God, not the Bible.
When God is telling people
You
that
see
they're
it.
allowed to take sex slaves, that's a flaw with God, not necessarily man.
What
The men
scripture?
who follow it are also flawed, I would agree, but let's
Who
not leave him out of the equation as if like he
Who-
told you to jump off the bridge. He's not at fault too. Like he's coercing people and he's got everybody convinced that his rule should be followed, and if not, there's punishment for it. He'll come and
2
have your
minutes.
whole
2
city
minutes.
destroyed. He'll have men come by and take your women and do whatever they please with them as punishment. So that's why it matters. That's why we have to ask these questions and examine these texts critically.
At the end of the situation, I'm just going to put it this simply. Do you not have control over your own actions? Do you have to take sex slaves? No. Do you have to hurt women like this? No. You decide to do this.
Okay, we're talking about the Bible as it reads, though.
And I'm saying
we're talking about the followers of the corrupted text. I'm in agreement with you on that. We're in agreement on that. But I need you to stay focused because the questions are pertaining to the person in God who's endorsing these things, who's using these things in metaphoric ways to show that this is okay.
What is with you guys in metaphors? I don't know what it is with y'all in metaphors, but
I'm just speaking about what the Bible is using to express certain messages.
They're not.
I don't like them any more than you do. I have to reconcile with this as well. So don't jump on me for recognizing what's in the text and trying to make sense of it. But I yield my time, though. It's been fun with you. I appreciate you. I only have about a minute left. It's okay.
Go ahead.
You hear me, DMG?
I heard you. Okay. I had like 40 seconds left.
Yeah, see, I was on point. It's cool.
So, listen, this has been one of my favorite debates. I'm not going to lie. Y'all absolutely edutained me thoroughly, and I was laughing at the end. Quinn's sarcasm is very welcomed, and it matches up well against AONE's melancholy, like just like he got his legs up having a conversation. and she lighting them on fire, and he just like, this is I love it. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna keep ranting. So again, keeping with the theme of the first round or the first section, the round section, where A1 as the affirmative went first, he will continue to go last as we get ready to have closing remarks. Each debater has 3 minutes to give their closing remarks, round out their argument, let y'all know exactly what it was they was trying to hammer down. Quinn, you have 3 minutes. Do you need to share the screen?
No, I'll voice my thoughts right now.
All right, time starts.
Okay, I feel like I need to say this in this debate. My opponent has taken multiple scriptures out of context and has just basically tried to put in your mind that basically the Bible, which God endorses, so it's basically the same thing, is for grape. If grape is something that is abusive, in which the Bible is strongly against violence, family violence, sexual violence, all that stuff, I feel like basically A1 is just slandering God. I'm just going to be honest. He's slandering God and he's slandering the Bible. And he's using this debate to try to get his thoughts across. And I'm like, I'm not for it. Okay. But no, I already looked, and I have to say, there are literally consequences. Every time you do something horrible to somebody in the Bible, you think God's going to be like, oh, well, you can go ahead and enslave the Israelites, but you go ahead and grape a woman. Oh, that's fine. You know, like he's going to be fine with that. There's no way. God is a just God, and he is even across the board. Okay. It doesn't make sense. it doesn't fit the narrative. Why would God make women just to be abused, basically? And even if it's like, oh, okay, well, they're property, I still have to say at the end of the day, then, because I tend to take care of my stuff. If I see my property or other people's property, I take care of it. And that is my control with my body, with people around me, with their stuff, etc., etc. So why can't men control themselves in this situation is the bigger picture here. That is what we need to remember. This is a world of free will. So of course humans are going to choose the wrong thing a lot of the time. That does not mean God accepts what you do. And it doesn't exonerate the stuff that comes your way. And that is what he doesn't want to address. I'll go ahead and let it go.
Right, you had 41 seconds left on the clock. We will reset the time at 3 minutes. Bible breaker, it is on you. You got 3 minutes to round this thing out. Time will start when you start talking.
Can you see my screen?
Give me 1 second. Okay, I got you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I haven't taken anything out of context today.
Time starts.
Time starts. I'm convinced that most of us are better than the God that we claim to believe in. We wouldn't tell people to go and gather sex slaves. We wouldn't make our daughter marry her rapist. We wouldn't give our daughter away to an angry mob to be graped as Lot did. We would understand that if someone wasn't there to hear her cry, that it can still be considered grape. We wouldn't use grape as a punishment for not following my every law and command. In conclusion, I want to sincerely thank you all for listening with an open mind as we examine how the Bible, particularly in its depictions of war, includes passages that condone or normalize grape. Whether it's the taking of women as spoils of war or the forced marriages of captive girls, these are not acts of love or justice. They are violations of human dignity. And while some of you may argue it was a different time, that does not erase the core truth. If consent was not given, it was wrong. Time does not excuse harm. Morality does not expire. Furthermore, when the Bible uses grape as a metaphor for unfaithfulness, comparing God's relationship to Israel to that of a violent, punishing husband, it embeds sexual violence in the very language of faith. That promotes acceptance of it in the most insidious way, not through direct command, but through sacred symbolism. These texts deserve... Is somebody making noise? Okay. These texts deserve critical engagement, not blind reverence. We must recognize how these narratives have shaped harmful attitudes for generations, and we have a moral responsibility to confront them honestly. As we close, let's remember that examining sacred texts critically is not an attack on faith, but a commitment to truth and justice. When we look at scriptures that depict the capture of sexual use of women in war, we must ask, whose voices are missing? Where is the consent? The silence of the women in these stories speaks volumes. And when religious language turns to grape into a metaphor for divine punishment, it doesn't just normalize violence, it sanctifies it. That kind of theology doesn't just exist on the page. It has real world consequences on how people view gender, power, and violence today. Recognizing that these texts reflect the values of ancient patriarchy doesn't mean we must carry these values forward. Instead, it calls us to break the silence, to question what has been unquestioned for too long, and to ensure that our morality is grounded in compassion, justice, and the absolute necessity of consent. Thank you again for engaging with this difficult but necessary topic. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the Craigs, DMG, everybody. And with that, I yield my time.
All right. A1 had 8 seconds left on his clock. And we will share the screen. Family, it's been a hell of a debate. Quinn came in with unmatched passion. The newcomer was on fire, but the veteran A1 was cool, calm, and collected. It was like Iceman versus the Human Torch. We're going to obviously confer with the judges, but this is not a title match. It's not a showcase debate. It's a standard versus series debate, so we won't be bringing the judges up, but we will let you know what their decisions were. We might have that for you tomorrow before we deal with this particular situation. And we have an interesting situation coming up tomorrow. We have a presentation, and then, well, I should say we have a face-off and then a presentation. So let's talk about the face-off first. And we have the Saber Supreme, Brother Cool, taking on our brother Bosco the Truth Hoover. Now, this is an old school Israelite versus Kemet face-off. We'll be letting y'all know what these brothers will be debating tomorrow. For those who didn't see our brother Cool's takeover show, you'll get more acquainted with him. Y'all already know Bosco the Truth. So we're going to get in here in the building. The thumbnail says 5:18, 5 Central Time, but it's actually going to be 6 Central Time. So I'm going to correct that on the thumbnail and I'll be correcting that when I schedule the show later on. So again, these two brothers will have a face-off to determine some things in their upcoming Versus Series matchup. And both of these brothers is hungry to prove they belong in the community's professional debate league. And then we have an interesting presentation. Lucifer, the devil, will enter Paradigm Shift TV 314 and the Versus Series presents Source and Slide presentation. Source and Slide is the Versus Series new installment where brothers and sisters who participate in the Versus Series can come and lay down their particular science in a presentation on whatever topic they choose to tackle. So AONE, the Bible breaker, might come in with a presentation showing why the God of the Bible is a racist. Or our sister Quinn may come in with a presentation saying why the God of the Bible is the personification of love. Who knows what these Versus Series debaters and superstars might want to bring to the table. But Source and Slide will be the avenue in which they do so. Tomorrow, Lucifer, the devil, will talk about Marcus Garvey was an advocate for the KKK, the problem with Pan-Africanism. Now, that is one of the craziest titles I have heard since I've been doing this, since 2019. Marcus Garvey was an advocate for the KKK, the problem with Pan-Africanism. Wow, that's hey, I see why they call this individual the devil. That's a hell of a topic. That's a hell of a topic. All right, Source and Slide tomorrow, 7:30. So we're going to have about a half hour between the face-off because that's only going to be for an hour. And this Source and Slide presentation, Lucifer the Devil presents Marcus Garvey was an advocate for the KKK, the problem with Pan-Africanism. All right, y'all got time to stick around for us to open it up? Or y'all got to get out of here?
Oh, you mean us?
Yeah, you and the Bible breaker.
What'd you say at the end? I was listening, but
all right, so we're gonna see if anybody come up. They got questions for y'all. They got comments, whatever the case may be. Family, check it out. You get one question for each debater. They just had a debate that they getting paid for. I'm not about to pay them to debate you. So they're not getting in the back and forth debate. If you want to debate them, set it up, and I'll see if they want to do it right here on Paradigm Shift TV 314 Versus Series rules. But you gonna have to pay them. I'm not paying them. I'm paying them for this debate. So they're not debating twice. These are professionals. All right? You get one question at each debater, or if you just got a question for one, you can rock out like that. They will answer that question, and then you can move out. If you got a comment for either debater, you can give your comment if it's not a question, and they will respond, and then you will see your way out. If you don't move on your own accord, I will move you on my accord. That being the case,
I just roll right over it. Oh, my bad.
Let me get the link in the chat. If you have questions or comments for AONE or Quinn, on this hard-hitting versus series debate right here on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Let us know. Hit the link. Does the Bible condone grape? This was a great debate, Quinn. I really enjoyed your versus series debut. Looking forward to seeing you put your demonstration down in future debates. A1, I gotta tell you, it's good to have you back. Versus series original. That being said, we got the last original big head scientist in the building, the mad genius, one half of the mad geniuses who created this versus series thing that y'all seem to be enjoying. The one and only Ratchet Craig in the building.
Man, you know I'm the big head scientist. I'm the scientist around this motherfucker. So yeah, and quote that. Sandana, you need to let me be your scientist over there. But anyway, hey man, there was a great debate. Hey, there was a great debate. Man, A1, you came through this time against Big Hibby. I see Hibby over here. I think he over here. And Big Hibby over there, you redeemed yourself on this one. And the debut queen, you did a great job, sister. This is gonna be hard on the judges. So, you know what I'm saying? DLG, I don't know, bro.
Hey, listen. I'm not looking forward. I think I'm gonna let you and Classic Craig talk to the judges, bro. I don't even want to be a part.
You know what?
I don't even want to be a part of that conversation. If they start talking, you know how it be going in them conversations, Ratchet. So if they start going towards one, I'm gonna start advocating for the other one. And if
I feel the same.
Because I'm gonna see what. Yeah, I don't think I want to be a part of that this time, man.
Yeah, we need to, bro. I don't know. We got to put it in class ahead. We got to make her the bad guy.
Yeah, we gonna have to let them do what they do, cause. Yeah. But yeah. All right. We got our brother Hemi, the biblical barbarian in the building. What did you think of the debate, man? You got a question, a comment for A1, Quinn, or both?
Yeah, what's good? Peace, DMG. Peace to the Craigs. Hell of a debate. Y'all put together a great matchup there. I got both a question and a comment. Because A1, why you be lying like that, bro? Why you always be just taking scripture and twisting it out of context and just be lying? There's nowhere in the Bible where it tells people to go capture women and make them sex slaves, bro. You know, but my other statement is they keep trying to twist the laws that are in Deuteronomy about rape. One is clearly about premarital sex, 29, and then one is literally about rape, and the punishment for that is death.
Hey, hold on. You're not supposed to be up here doing cleanup for what Quinn.
I'm not doing cleanup.
I need you to ask your question as DMG instructed. And
I thought you said we could make a statement, DMG.
I said question or comment. Now, A1, you will get to respond though.
I know. I just know he's breaking.
I'm not cleaning up. How I'm breaking order? I'm breaking order.
He said a question, and you were.
He said a question. Trying to play cleanup, bro.
It's not time for you to clean up, sir.
You know I'm right.
Your job work later.
Go ahead.
Let him finish his. Let him finish his comment, bro. Let him finish his comment. You will have the floor.
That's it. I ain't gonna say no more. He already rattled, so I'm gonna let him do what he do. That was my comment on it, though, y'all.
All right, Bible Breaker, it's on you.
You know why I'm here. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh man, I could listen. Hey, you had perfect timing with that one, Quinn. You wanna respond to what Hemi said?
Well, of course, I agree with Hemi, but I will say that, like, because I'm not really saying this to Hemi, I'm just saying this in general. Hemi basically said what was in my debate for the most part. Like, I provided examples and everything. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. I already proved that point, and I am thankful that Hemi said it. At least somebody got me, but keep going.
All right. Hey, we got
Hey,
classic.
hey, hold on, DLG. Hold on, DLG. We gonna have a A1 and Hemi part 2 in the future, right? In the future, I see it.
It looked like we got a rivalry on our hands, Ratchet.
Yeah,
It looked like we got a rivalry on our hands.
As long as he lying on the Bible, I'm gonna stay on his head. As long he gonna have to change.
Oh man, how you gonna say? Hey, Hemi, hold on, Hemi, hold on. How you gonna say? As long as he stay on the Bible to somebody called the Bible breaker, you just basically said it's on for life. Every time you see him, it's up. That's basically what you just said.
Factory until he admit that, until he bow that knee and profess with his mouth. You see what I'm saying? I'm on his neck every time. That's it. He want to though. That's what you want to get beat into submission though. He praying for somebody to stomp disbelief in his eyeballs. That's what he wants so bad. That I'm gonna do it for him.
Oh man, listen, we got my favorite moderator. I messed up and timed her out trying to make her a managing moderator, but I hope she got it. Shout out to my sister, y'all sister, Michelle Turner in the building. You got a question or comment for one or both of the debaters?
I got a comment for Quinn. Quinn, I need your Zelle so I can send you a congratulatory Starbucks refresher gift card or something. So treat yourself for winning this debate.
Oh man. We got the God body, Marlon Simmons in the building. Me and Marlon go back like White Walls and Cadillacs.
Boy, do we? What's good with you, DMG?
Hey, you got it, my brother. We still here. You hear me? We still here.
Still here. Ain't that some shit?
So you got a question or comment for one or both of the debaters, bro?
Well, you know how I feel about that Bible, DMG. I don't agree with it. It's not the word. I don't think so. Hold on. I'm gonna stop saying. I ain't gonna ever say I don't think so. I know it's not. It's a story, man. It's well put together, but I mean, come on, man. The Creator ain't got to talk to you like that. He talks to you dead up in he talks to each person individually. He ain't got to talk to you through no damn book. We talking about the all-powerful Creator that created all the shit we got out here today. If you look at the earth around you, the earth you walk on, the earth you live on, there ain't no way in the world that man got to create no damn book to keep you in line, bro. It ain't gonna happen. So, I mean, I agree with both of them really, because God talked to you daily. You know what I'm saying? He talked to you in your head. He don't need none of that, man. He proved it. He proves it every day. He proves it. You don't need a book, bro. So, I mean, we got to think for ourselves. Like she said, we got to conduct ourselves. We know the right from wrong. We can see that. That ain't hard to figure out. Once you get it, you stick with it. Like she said, a lot of those things man did on his own. He wrote those words to make it seem like it was supposed to, or some great God said it was easy. Yeah.
We gonna pass it around, but I'm gonna come back around to you.
For sure.
All right. We got the head chiefess of the barbarians in the building. Honey Clark, you got a question or comment for one or both of the debaters?
Well, I have a comment. Like, I think they both did very well. Especially Quinn. I really wanted to see her debate. She did really good. But I think A1 got this one. And it's only because like she did say that like they kind of could rape people, but then, you know, they're bringing them in to be under God and everything else. And so it's kind of like, yeah, if you believe in that God, you feel like you're doing somebody a favor. But if they believe in another God or have a different culture, then they're not going to agree with you. They're going to feel like that's off. So it's like, you know, I had these same things with the biblical barbarian when we debate, but that's it. Like, but I think that she did good defending it, showing that they also had laws against it and trying to rectify this problem and everything else too. But you know what I'm saying? And also that the word of God in the Bible is one thing, but what's condoned in the Bible isn't always just the word of God too. So I like the A1's approach on this one. He did a good job with this one.
Got you. And now we have the Paradigm Shift TV 314 versus Series Hitman in the building. My brother, y'all brother, Haru Consciousness in the building. You got a question or comment for either of the debaters, bro?
Hey, I just wanted to congratulate both of the debaters, man. I really enjoyed this debate. I mean, y'all kept it really scholarship, man. Some different, two different perspectives to look at. I don't want to even like, I don't want to broadcast like or even declare a winner. Although I see the winner in my mind already, but I don't even want to put that one out there. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna say, man, this thing is going. This ship is smooth sailing here in Paradigm Shift TV 314. So the hitman is here, man. I just want to say, man, congratulations.
Sure.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Classic of Ratchet Craig. What y'all got to say?
I'm sorry, I think my mic got cut off, but what I was gonna say is
oh, my bad, bro. My bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think that this debate was actually like really solid, really solid all the way through. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges actually score this. You know what I'm saying? But I think both of y'all showed up to do what y'all. So
okay.
Say debate. I was actually looking at some good points that both of y'all made. So it was dope.
Yeah, it was.
Thank y'all for that.
Sure.
All right, it is.
Mama B, I don't see you back here, Mama B. Hit the link. Let me put the link back in.
Hey, man. And shout out to everyone who tuned in, man. I know it'll be the hectic night tonight. Everybody be going live tonight, and y'all was over here, man. So I appreciate y'all.
It was the blazing show, man. One of the best shows I've seen yet, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, this was a great debate. We get better as we go. We try to get better product.
Yeah, man. Definitely. And that's what I knew was gonna happen. Shit. Just keep it going, bro. That's it. Just keep it going.
Yeah, so
we're gonna have a lot of knowledgeable people out here. Everybody gonna be, you know what I'm saying, getting the knowledge they need, getting the stuff that school ain't giving them, you know, government ain't letting them get. They can get it here, man. Them kids will be out there busting schools wide open, man. You know, where you coming from? Shit. Coming from the paradigm shift with it.
Shout out to the Godlight.
Preach, I appreciate that, DMG. I appreciate these shows, man. I'm telling you. My kids watching them right now, too.
That's what's up, bro.
Yes,
That's what's up. Like I said, hey man, you know, you was like the third person I met. I think it was Jerome, Antoine, and then you. So, like I say, we go back like white walls and Cadillacs, man.
Man. What you talking about? And see, that's the thing. I was really getting back on to just studying my 5% stuff at the time and figuring out which way I really want to go with it, seeing what's right. And that's when I met you, and I'm like, shh, just went on the 5% rant because everything else didn't seem right, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, Marlon used to be back there setting them chats on fire. I used to be like, he'll make me. I'd be like, Marlon, listen, man, let me holler at you, bro. And I could never put out his fire though. I could never put it out. But he did end up having to get removed because he was just spitting hot. He was a breathing dragon. Like but ratchet and classic, man. What say the law firm? The mastermind behind the Versus series.
It's classic out here.
I'm always here.
Okay. I'm at the wait in. I ain't know you was on here, brother. Go ahead, talk.
You know, I'm always here, brother. I'm with y'all in the spirit, physical, and the metaphysical, brother. But I just want to say this, man. Hell of a debate, hell of a show between A1 and Quinn. Quinn, I am so happy to have you over here. Great first debate. We're very fiery. Love the anime. I love the anime in the mix. Finally, someone put some anime in a debate. Smooth how you did it too.
Yeah.
Hey, since day
He's a hell of a debater. Yeah, some good points.
You're the reason why the Q&A is so competitive. Again, it is great seeing you back in action. I love how Paradigm Shift always bring the hella debaters to the battlefield and we battle it out. But I gotta let everybody know this: Paradigm Shift and the Versus series is that pressure.
Yes,
Under extreme pressure, we bringing that pressure. The magnitude of the gravity is so extreme, we causing mofos to go wild in the debate scene.
Yes,
hey man, very entertaining. I cannot wait till the judges come back with the results. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to DMG. Shout out to you, Marlon. Shout out to
Sage. Yes, sir. Shout out to y'all,
family. We nominated you. We nominated you, Classic Creator, to give out the results. So me and DMG, we will see out, nigga, because this was a good debate like this. So you got to do it, bro.
You got to do it, bro.
Yeah, you voted already.
I don't care if you got a pre-recorded. You got to do it.
I'm gonna do it live. I know how you Negroes do. Behind my back. That's cute. But I ain't fine. I'm gonna show y'all I ain't scared. I'll do it.
Yeah, we gonna see.
Conspiring behind my back. Ain't no we'll see. I'll do it.
We gonna see.
But I just gotta say, everybody, I always remember over here at On Shift TV 314, the Versus series is that precious. We are the most extreme environment, man. We bring in that fire and that heat. Shout out to Sage, man, our secretary. I gotta give a congratulations to both debaters again. Quinn, the enigmatic Quinn, and A1, the Bible breaker. That was a hell of a debate. Hey, but I gotta say this. One more thing I gotta say, man. The judge's verdict is the judge's verdict at the end of the day. So we're gonna see how they do it. Shout out to DMG and Ratchet Craig. DMG for president, Ratchet Craig for Ratchet vice president. And other than that, man, I'm out.
And classic Craig for Secretary of the State.
Nah, that's Sage. She'll be the Secretary of the State.
Nah, Sage is the Secretary of Defense.
Yo.
She's Secretary of Defense, nigga. She's Secretary of Defense, nigga.
Hey, Well, I got my cabinet picked out, Doc.
Nah, you wild, bro. You wild. Man, hey, hell of a debate. Hell of a debate.
Sure.
Hell of a debate.
Sure.
Got me on the edge of my seat, man.
Sure.
But I think I'm Mount Olympus, nigga. I think I'm Mount Olympus. So I don't know.
Are you not entertained? Olympus? Ah, man. We got Ratchet Zeus in the building. Are you not entertained? Ratchet Zeus, the big-headed scientist of Yakub. Is this not why you are here? Man.
The world greatest. The world greatest scientist. I am that. I am telling stock devils to bring me y'all so I can be a scientist over there.
For sure.
Hey, you know, anybody can be a scientist these days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. I agree. I'm the greatest. I'm the big head scientist, nigga. Y'all cool.
Exactly. So, listen,
Hey,
be
new
scientists.
rule, we ain't saying the S word no more. Unless you show the credentials. I'm sorry.
All you
we ain't doing
scientists better back up, because these scientists with the biggest head and the biggest
We gotta show the
brain.
credentials. Motherfuckers saying, you know.
I mean, so I'm just letting y'all scientists and people in medical fields where they still mock medical conditions, all y'all type people. The big head scientist, he the Dr. Doom of this thing. That's all I'm saying.
Dr. Doom. I like that. Dr. Doom. I like that. That's one of my favorite characters, bro.
That being said, hell of a debate. Quinn, proud of you. I'm glad you braved it out at the beginning when we couldn't quite get the presentation up. I'm glad the chat braved it out with us, because it ended up being a hell of a debate, a hell of a debut for you, a hell of a showcase for A1 to show why he still is a threat in this debate league that he helped build a foundation of. So, hell of a debate. Proud of both of y'all.
Damn right. Damn right.
Hey, is Quinn A1 on here? Because we give out our closing statements, man, and then DOG, you can wrap it up. You and Classic. Yeah. Just gonna wrap it up. If you don't mind, sir. My fault. I don't mean to overstep your boundaries, DOG.
No. Let Classic shut this thing down. Family, y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
It's your brother DMG, aka Brother Pianki. Classic always steal my lines, so I'm gonna let him have them tonight. But donate to the Cash App. Like I said, this is a standard debate. Both combatants will receive $50 in their Cash App. All they got to do is inbox me the Cash App. I might already have A1s, but go ahead and send it to me anyway. So as soon as the debate is over with, hit my inbox with y'all Cash App, and the payment will be there by tomorrow morning. Like I said, I don't front like I'm rich. If I have some kind of emergency where that can't happen, you will know promptly. And within the week, we will get you squared away. That being said, not likely to happen. I ain't failed yet. A1 can amen me on that. So, Classic Craig, it's on you, man, to shut this thing down. Shout out to the Secretary of Defense, Sage the Savage. We still got our show, DMG Uncensored, coming. So y'all stay tuned for that. Shout out to my soon-to-be best co-host in these YouTube streets. All right, Classic, it's yours for real now.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, man, we are breaking the barriers when it comes down to debates. You're not playing around. If you tired of people running around dancing, being biased, getting in the way of your question and answer around, trying to dictate the rules to the debate without even telling you the rules, adding on new rules, flipping the scene, corrupting the judges, and not only that, being a fucking narcissist. You tired of that shit? Come over to Paradigm Shift TV 314, join the Versus series where we can have a fair and square debate. We making debates great again. You know, we making it great again. But
Sure.
family, I appreciate you guys. Love you. We got some more fire blast coming back. Ratchet and me, alongside with Sage the Savage and DMG, are gonna produce and do the best to our ability to bring you quality A1, no pun intended, A1 quality debates and shows, interviews, and more. Watch out for our open panels. I personally will be coming back with Classic Craig's loud and clear. It will be getting very wild. A lot of powerful people are coming down to deal with your boy Classic Craig. So we got a lot in the building, a lot cooking, and we finna get this motherfucker to the next level. So, without further ado, like DMG would say, we'll be black at it again. And I gotta say goodnight. This is Classic Craig signing out. Laters.
For sure. For sure.
She hoping pain. Sorry, mama, but it ain't. This world took a toll on me. And everyone that say they love me always seem to follow me. The same one that call me great, treat me like I ain't shit. I read between the lines, it's written all over your eyes. I see the disappointment in the eyes of the ones who want me dead, but I ain't never been scared. I tried to get there. Sometimes I wonder if I survived or did I die on that ride to that hospital. Demons all around me, I am not mental. This game of life, it is not simple. Last time I was happy, I was popping pills.